Hello, ladies. Today I wanted to talk about my most asked question. That I get this question all the time in my DMs. I get it oftentimes on my posts, but a lot of DMs on this. A lot of you ladies out there really struggling, and I get it because I've been there. I've been there. The question is, what do I do when the food thoughts come on or a binge urge comes on or I just really want to eat when I know I shouldn't? I know I don't really want to. I just want to. um, what did you tell you, or what did you tell yourself when you had food thoughts or binge urge? What how can I stop it? Like, how can I get over that hurdle? And like I said, I get it so bad. I get it because this was the bane of my existence, and food addiction was, how do I even get a day clean? Um, and so these are just some tips, some things that help me. Most of these things are not, um, I didn't invent these. Just as a disclaimer, I did a lot of research, and it took me a very long time to master this issue. And so I did a lot of research. So these may have come from like different books that I read, or things that I heard, maybe podcasts or talks, whatever. Anyways, they're just things that help me. Something that would help me isn't going to necessarily help everybody, and vice versa. If something that could help you may not help me. I'm just giving examples of what I did and what helps me. It's a loaded question, guys. There's so much that goes in, that can go into um, this topic, but I'm just gonna start here with this because I just got asked two more times today about it. So I just really need to make this post. So what do? You have a food plan or whatever you're doing, and you get that urge to eat. The first thing that I'm going to say is stop giving them power. It sounds easier than it is, but you've got to look at them as harmless. Like if you're scared of them, it makes it 100 times worse. Because when you become scared of it, like you get like that almost anxiety that you've got to eat, or you've got to fight it, you've got to fight it, you got to fight it. So try to like stop fighting it and just be like, it's no big deal. So you've got to change, how you look at them to not feel so urgent, because yeah, it feels urgent. I know, I get it. And I want you to recognize too, the eating is doing something for you. What are you actually needing right now? Like you're looking to eat. You're, I'd say 9.5 times out of 10, I was not looking to eat because I was hungry. In fact, I never got to the point of hungry because I grazed all day long because I always felt like constant need to eat. So for me, I'm not saying for everybody, but for a lot of us, we're not eating out of hunger. If you are eating out of hunger, look at planning your meals better and having things on hand or having things ready so that you don't get to that point of hunger. But like I said, for a lot of us, the eating isn't out of hunger. It's something else. So recognize that the eating is doing something for you. So when people try to say like, it's harming you, why you keep doing it? Okay, it's harming you, but in the moment it feels damn good. And that's just point blank the truth of it. It feels really good. And when something gives us a reward, it's an instant reward that has a lasting harm. So just human nature, we're going to go for the thing that makes us feel good now. That's just human nature. There's nothing wrong with you as far as morally for doing that. It makes sense. It's a reward. It's like anything that feels good, ladies. Anything that feels good, whether you should do it or not, if you're in the moment, it's going to be easier. It's like I said, the toxic ex, I'm saying, you go back with them and you regret it in the morning. That food is the same way. But so I just want to say, recognize that it's doing something for you, and see if you can figure out what it is that you actually want or need right now. For me, I lived in a lot of fear, and I don't mean fear of like snakes or fear of like my house burning down. They were little fears. Fear of paying my credit card bill, debilitating fears. I was afraid to look at my bank account, um, afraid to start that cleaning project, what I would find, afraid of invented scenarios in my head of what people were thinking about me. Um, a lot of invented scenarios, but it caused a lot of fear. And I ate a lot of times out of fear. I wanted comfort, which is a learned habit. It was a learned habit. I had some traumatic things happen to me as a kid, and I learned young that the food helped to numb that pain and it helped to comfort when I didn't have. I had good parents. I'm not hating on my parents, but they were not. They're very, very old school. So no, there wasn't, huggies or comfort or let's go talk about it or talk to me or I could go to them for something. I couldn't go to them. So I ate out of comfort. So look at, just psychologically, can you figure out what it is you're eating? Because the food is doing something for you. And there's also the physical aspect that a lot of us are physically addicted. And that, it's just going to take some of these tips to get your butt out of that addiction. Just like with cigarettes or any other addiction that you've got to get clean. You've got to get through this first few days of not having the substance, if that's what you're trying to do. If you're not, cool. So, and I'm going to tie on to that one. To recognize that it's doing something for you is to pray for God to show you what you need to see. Even if you're not religious, this can still work for you. A lot of people will use an acronym of God, G-O-D, good orderly direction. Or, you can see God as love, because God is love. But can you say good orderly direction? I say God, I believe in God, and God did help me. Pray for God to show you what you need to see, because you probably want to eat for a different reason. So if you are religious, this can be a huge tool in your toolbox. Just something so simple as like, God, what is it that I'm looking for? Like, can you show me? And if you can get still for a few minutes, if you're in that situation, I know every situation you're not going to be able to escape to your bedroom. But if you're working, can you escape to the bathroom? Obviously if you're driving or going past a fast food joint, but can you do it at the red light before you turn in? Like, try to hightail it away from getting that bad. If you're at some point like that. So pray for God to show you what it is that you actually need. What is it that you're actually looking for? And if God does show you, if you do get that revelation, try to deal with that. Okay. Now some of these are like some psychological, deeper issue things. But there's another thing that I'm going to say is remind yourself that your arms and legs can't move unless you tell them to. Okay? So just kind of try to not focus on the food. And for a second, be like, okay, say I'm sitting right here, right? And I get the urge and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to go to the kitchen. I want to eat. All right, I can look at my hands. So look at your hands, look at your feet and say, these aren't moving unless I make them move. And then make them move in the opposite direction. Seriously, just get out. And this will delay. And a lot of times that's all we need. That's all we need. Can you wait? It's like we're going to eat dinner in an hour. And like I said, for me, 9 times out of 10, I did not eat out of hunger. And even if it was hunger, guys, hunger ain't going to kill you. Even if you're hungry, it makes your dinner taste a lot better, or your breakfast taste a lot better, or your lunch tastes a lot better. Stop being afraid of being hungry. It's not going to hurt you. It doesn't actually hurt. It may not feel good, but it doesn't actually hurt. And it's good to have a healthy hunger. 3 times a day you should be hungry. So remind yourself that your arms and your legs can't move without you telling them to. So either tell them to stay put or tell them to get out. Another way to minimize the craving is just tell yourself, this is just a craving. I don't have to pay attention to it. It's going to pass. Like, literally dismiss it. Get on out of here. It's really, we feel it as urgent, but it's not. It's not urgent. So if you can kind of minimize it in your own head. I get, guys, if there's any of you out there are, truly food addicts or compulsive eaters like myself, I get it. When I was in, face down in the food, to me, a craving felt like holding my head underwater and needing air. Like, it was urgent. I needed it bad. Like, I couldn't think of anything else. But you've got to try to break that chain. You've got to try to break that chain that's telling you you need to eat now. So how can you cut it? Does that make sense? Like, you got to try to cut it. So just something you can say, this is just a craving. I don't have to pay attention to it. It's going to pass. So just kind of try to dismiss it. You can do that, even if it's hard. And then what I'm going to say too is you're practicing a muscle. All right. It's called a resistance muscle. And I do remember where I got that one from. It was from the Beck Diet book. Love that book. It's great for cognitive therapy. I recommend that to anybody that's struggling with the mental aspect. For me, it was very helpful. She actually has you write things on cards and repeat them to kind of like change your neurological pathways that are telling you that you should eat or that you should be able to do this and that. Very, very helpful. And that was one of her things, is that I'm choosing, another one from her, I'm choosing to say no choice. I have to do what I need to do, not what I feel like doing. I actually wrote that on a card. I'm choosing to say, I don't have a choice in this. I'm choosing to do what I need to do and not what I feel like doing. Because that is the crux of self-discipline, right, guys? Doing what you need to do, not what you feel like doing. Some of these can be really helpful if you do literally do that. Write them on a card, little mantras, and just read them. Like in the Beck, it's called Beck Diet book. She literally has you read them like 3 times a day, even if you don't need them right now, just to like get that stuck in your head. I'm choosing to say no choice. I'm going to do what I need to do, not what I want to do. Okay. And this one, guys, it was actually really brilliant. This is one way that you can cut that tie. This is the 5-second rule. Believe it or not, Mel, guys, I can't remember her last name. Mel Robbins, something like that. Anyway, everybody knows who she is, right? The lady that did the 5-second rule. So when you have the food thought, okay, you're going to look at it and be like, I'm going to do something else. And before you can think about it, you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And you go do it. Even if it's to walk away. It really works. It works really good. So the 5-second rule, try it the next time you really want something, and you really feel like eating off a plan or whatever. Try the 5-second rule. Okay, be like, okay, I'm going to ignore this and then do a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You gotta count backwards. Don't count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. It works. I don't know why, but it works. Find someone to be helpful to. So, a lot of times when we want to eat, is we're kind of stuck on ourselves. We're kind of stuck in what we want, where it's kind of like a self-indulgence, I guess I would call it. So taking your mind off of what you want right now and finding someone to be helpful to or to be of service to can really take your head to a different place and help you to do something else. If you're new, if you're having a really hard time with this, something simple that you can start with would be saying a prayer for somebody. You know, my friend just lost her husband to COVID. Um, she's heartbroken. So every time I need to be helpful to somebody, I'm saying a prayer for her. Um, Something like that. It can be as simple as getting your husband a cup of coffee, you know, refilling his coffee cup. Can you um, go make sure that your kid, if they're in another room, but hey, are you having fun, babe? Do you need anything? Um, those are really simple, easy things you can do. I like the prayer one a lot. I use that a lot in early recovery because I had to get my head out of myself, and a lot of times I would be driving with kids, or I'd be in a car with people, or I would be at soccer practice, or I would be cooking dinner. I didn't have time to go find somebody to be of service to, so I would say a prayer for somebody, because it would still take my head out of wanting the food or wanting the self-indulgence for myself. But I mean, and if you can do even more than that, great. I mean, literally, could you go volunteer at a homeless shelter? That's going to take your mind off of yourself. You don't have to do anything that dramatic, but that um, time intensive, but you sure can. Also practice something mindless and soothing. And this is actually a good habit to do every day if you can. Like, say if you can get 15 minutes, you know, those adult coloring books, grab me one of those and, you know, do like the adult coloring book for 15 minutes. Some of you ladies that are amazing with like crocheting or knitting, that's not really mindless, but it can be soothing. You know, the only reason I hesitate saying that is because you guys are probably already trying that. So forgive me for that one. But, you know, crossword puzzle, you know, things like that. Candy Crush. I'm not going to recommend Candy Crush because I was addicted to Candy Crush necessarily. I'm just saying it's something that kind of helps you relax a little bit soothing and a little bit mindless. Like, you do have to use your mind, but you're not like solving the world's problems. And a lot of times, for me, I was trying to solve the world's problems in my head. You know, the way Jenny wanted it. And the last one that I have on my list right here, I know I have a lot more tips, but these are just the ones that came to me at the moment, is to set a timer. Set your timer for 10 minutes, whatever you think you can stand. If it can be 15 minutes, if it can be 30 minutes, but I'm just saying, like, whatever you think you can stand. It needs to be a little bit out of your comfort zone, but not, you know, like I couldn't set a timer for 2 hours. That would be silly. If I could have waited 2 hours, I wouldn't have had the problem. So I started with 10 minutes because I could barely wait 5, but I figured I could do 10. Okay, so set a timer and tell yourself when the timer goes off, if you still want to binge, you can binge. If you still want to eat, you can eat. And continue that cycle until it's gone. Hopefully it's gone. If it's not gone by that point, hey babe. If it's not gone by that point, you know, I don't know. Just keep working on it. And yeah, just set a timer. And you gotta turn that off if you're gonna be in here. And see if you can wait that out. Wait that time out, and if it'll be gone. So that was just
I have one more chocolate. Or that's it.
I'm doing a video.
Mommy, you have one later.
Yeah, one later. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, I love you too. So anyways, so sorry about that. I know, super unprofessional, but she's the youngest of 5. So yeah, those are just some of my tips for today. I'm definitely going to make some follow-up on this. If anybody has questions, comments, what's helped you, please put them down below because somebody else wants to know this. This is a huge question. Any of you ladies out here that are killing it, please put your comments down below for the ladies that are still struggling. Because I'm going to get emotional. There's a lot of you that are still struggling. And yeah, my heart goes out to you guys. I know it's super freaking hard, but you can do it. Your girl did it. I'm doing it, I should say. I don't feel like it's ever done. Okay, I'm just doing it. So I don't know if I'm going to post this on YouTube or Instagram. It might be too long. For some reason, Instagram says I can't post anything longer than 15 minutes, but I'm not sure. Anyways, that's what they say. So this looks like it's 20 minutes, so it'll probably be going to YouTube. But either way, please like it and comment if you feel like it. It does help. It will help this video to get more visibility, and hopefully help other people. So yeah, if you were helped by this, let me know. I'd love to know. And if you have any other comments or questions, also let me know. Guys, have a great day. Maybe.